Welcome back, everyone. Today we're diving into an epic reimagining of Wonder Woman's origin and evolution. A story that takes us from the fiery depths of hell to the chaotic streets of Gateway City. This isn't just your classic tale of the Amazonian princess. Oh no, this is a narrative that redefines Diana's legacy with emotional depth, rich mythology, and high-octane action. We're talking about mystical curses, demonic beasts, and a fierce battle for humanity's survival. So grab your swords or your indestructible metal cuffs, and let's explore how Diana of Themyscira became a warrior forged in fire and destined to save the world. Ready? Let's dive in. Our story kicks off in Gateway City, California. A strange floating upside-down pyramid has appeared over the ocean, and the whole city's losing it. People are running in fear. Reporters are scrambling. The military's moving in. And the vibe, full-blown apocalyptic. We follow a news crew, Alan and his cameraman, who are freaking out as monsters start flying out of this pyramid like it's some kind of interdimensional hornet's nest. And then, through the chaos, through the fire and fury, riding in one skeletal undead Pegasus, comes Wonder Woman. Not the golden lasso, invisible jet Wonder Woman we're used to. This is a whole new Diana. She has a giant sword in hand, magic in her veins, a force of nature. He's diving, don't lose him, Alan shouts as Diana on the Pegasus charges toward the ground, relentlessly slicing through the creatures. We then get a monologue from Cersei. She says, "Once upon a time, there was a princess, and the princess possessed every gift one might wish for. Beauty, grace, compassion, kindness, wisdom, and more. She could outrun a hellhound and conjure the darkest magics, gifts fit for a princess raised in hell." The scene unfolds as Wonder Woman does a superhero landing and smears the blood of the creatures on her face. She uses her magic to vanquish the winged beasts, eliminating them with calculated precision. The scene shifts to the distant past, years ago, to the wild isles of hell, the desolate prison of the great sorceress Cersei. She stands in solitude, reflecting bitterly. "Once, I ruled a remote paradise," Cersei laments. "Now, I'm a prisoner of this solitary wasteland. Never let it be said that the gods lack a sharp sense of humor." Suddenly, the sun god Apollo shows up like a smug UPS driver delivering chaos, his divine presence commanding the air. "Come forward, witch. You may kneel." Cersei smirks. "I'm fine, thank you." "Defiant even in hell," Apollo observes. "I lean into my strengths," Cersei replies coolly. Perhaps it is what landed you here," Apollo counters. "Perhaps," she says, her tone nonchalant. Apollo steps forward, holding out a small bundle, an infant swaddled in cloth. "This is yours now." Cersei eyes the baby with suspicion. "Mine? This is a child. Why would you bring a baby to hell?" In his arms, a baby, and not just any baby, Diana, the last of the Amazons, taken by Zeus himself as punishment for the Amazons defying the gods. Her sisters, imprisoned, her heritage, erased, and the word Amazon, completely forbidden. Cersei is told, "This child is yours now. Raise her, but never tell her what she is." Apollo smirks as he adds, "Try it, Cersei. Say it. Go on, I want to see." Cersei attempts to utter the word Amazon, but finds herself unable. Her frustration only amuses Apollo, who turns to leave. "This is hell," Cersei remarks bitterly. "What if it dies?" "The gods do not care," Apollo responds coldly. "This is where she belongs, for as long as she exists." Cersei mutters under her breath, "Sorry excuse for a sun god, if you ask me." Left alone, Cersei muses aloud. In his arrogance, he has set very few rules. That is good for me. Surely the child will perish without care. But I am no mother, and I was not tasked with keeping her alive. This will simply take care of itself. Or so I suppose. She pauses, her expression darkening. Then again, perhaps the gods are not so willing to leave things to chance. Perhaps they will send one threat after another to end her life. If so, she is doomed, whether I take an interest or not. Before Cersei can finish her thought, baby Diana reaches out and seizes a snake with its mouth open, poised to strike. With surprising strength, she hurls it away. Cersei watches, intrigued. Moments later, a baby dragon approaches, spewing a small flame at Diana. Unfazed, the child grabs the tiny dragon and kisses it on the nose. Cersei chuckles dryly. She's going to learn the hard way with that one. He'll singe off all her hair next time. We then watch as Cersei carries the baby into her cave, a humble, makeshift sanctuary. Over time, many things tried to kill the child, and by extension, Cersei. But no overwhelming force ever arrived to seal her fate, as Cersei had feared. What surprised the sorceress most was Diana's innate quality, a presence that softened even the most treacherous of beasts. And it wasn't just the creatures, demons, and lost souls drawn to her. There was something more. Cersei reflects, almost reluctantly. How you fall in love with a child is by raising it. Years pass. Diana sits quietly, engrossed in a book, until her face creases with concern. This boy is hurting this tree, she says firmly. I don't like it. Cersei glances over and replies calmly, That's part of the lesson, Diana. But why doesn't the tree understand what's happening? Diana asks, her curiosity unrelenting. Maybe it does, Cersei says thoughtfully, and it accepts it. Diana frowns, her voice softening. But it's all dead, Mom. Cersei smiles gently. It only looks dead, darling. We can bring it back. It just needs love. And magic, Diana adds with conviction. Well, yes, Cersei agrees with a hint of amusement. Everything needs magic. Diana pauses for a moment, her gaze drifting away from the book. Mother, she begins hesitantly. There's a word. Cersei turns to her with interest. Yes? What word? Diana bites her lip. Do you know this word? You haven't told me what it is, Cersei says patiently. I'm not sure it's real, Diana admits, uncertainty flickering in her tone. It's real if you say it, Cersei assures her. Perhaps, Diana murmurs, her thoughts wandering. We see years pass, Diana learning magic, fighting monsters, wrestling a three-headed lion for fun. And through it all, this bond forms, a bond stronger than blood. Cersei becomes her mother, her teacher, her everything. Cersei's gaze is distant as she reflects, almost to herself. Raising a child is how you fall in love, she muses, her voice tingled with bitter sweetness. But letting them go is how you prove your love. We return to the present. Wonder Woman stands in Gateway City, surveying the chaos. She turns to her steed, Pegasus. The perimeter, she commands. The skeletal Pegasus spreads its wings and soars off into the distance. Diana strides purposefully towards a nearby soldier. Are you in charge here, soldier? She asks. The soldier stammers. That is a no, Diana says briskly. Where is your superior? Thank you. Now listen. Evacuate all civilians within a mile. But I thought, the soldier begins, but Diana cuts him off. They're not dead. They're only stunned, and they are not what's coming. These creatures are merely harbingers. We are out of time. You evacuate your civilians and summon your forces. The soldier hesitates, but run, Diana orders, her voice leaving no room for argument. At that moment, the upside-down pyramid opens from the bottom. A massive, monstrous figure looms before Diana. Its presence is oppressive, its form grotesque. Diana stands before the monster in the city. Diana's voice rings with authority as she declares, You are not welcome, Harbinger Prime. This world will defend itself. I stand before you wielding the mystical Athena blade, forged by Hephaestus himself. It is more than capable of sending you to your maker. Leave now. Return to your master and tell them they were mistaken. This world is protected. The Harbinger Prime sneers, its voice a guttural growl. But it is not. It roars, lunging at Diana. She steadies herself, whispering under her breath, Hold on. You can do it. Just hold on. The monster charges, and Diana calls out, "Pegasus!" Her loyal steed dives back into the fray, breathing fire and blasting the monster. Diana weaves magic into her strikes, but the monster retaliates, striking her with a blast of its searing laser eyes. She braces herself as the Harbinger Prime bellows. Harbingers rise, sow chaos and prepare the way. The smaller creatures around them begin to stir, reanimating and attacking civilians and soldiers alike. The massive creature unleashes another laser blast towards Diana, but she dodges with practiced precision. The Harbinger Prime snarls, "Again you stand. We are not amused." It fires its lasers once more, but this time Diana raises her indestructible metal cuffs. The beams ricochet off them and strike the creature instead, momentarily stunning it. The monster recovers, its fury unrelenting. "We warned you," it growls before unleashing an enormous blast of energy, striking Diana with overwhelming force. The flashback takes us to the Wild Isles in Hell. Cersei sits by the fireplace, absorbed in a book. Diana, still a young girl, is seated beside her, the flickering flames casting shadows across the room. "Mother," Diana asks, her voice tinged with curiosity. "Yes, my love," Cersei responds without looking up. "I must ask you about this world again," Diana says, hesitating slightly. Cersei closes her book and turns to her daughter. "I thought you might." "It's important," Diana insists. Cersei nods. "It is." Diana's expression shifts, uncertainty creeping into her tone. "I'm afraid." Cersei tilts her head, intrigued. "My girl fears so little." "But I am afraid," Diana repeats. "You're not afraid of the word itself," Cersei says gently. "You're afraid of the change saying it will bring." Diana furrows her brow, searching for understanding. "How can I know a word without ever having heard it? How can it beat so powerful in my chest when I don't even know what it means?" Cersei leans forward, her eyes steady. "Say the word, Diana. Say it and know it is what you are." Diana gathers her courage and speaks. "Amazon." The forbidden word echoes softly in the room. "What does it mean, mother?" "Amazon." Cersei's lips tremble as she tries to respond. "It is simply what you are, Diana. You are and..." Her voice falters. She cannot finish the sentence. The word sticks in her throat, barred by Apollo's decree. Diana watches in disbelief. "What was that?" "When Apollo brought you to me," Cersei explains quietly, "he forbade me from ever saying that word again." "Why? Why would he do that?" Diana demands. "Why indeed, my darling girl," Cersei replies with a bittersweet smile. "They didn't want me to know I'm an Amazon," Diana says, the realization dawning on her. "They took me away and tried to stop me from knowing what I was." "Why?" Cersei's gaze hardens. "Because the warrior women had a job to do. They protected the world above from the oldest of monsters, creatures that sought only to feast on it. Without them, the world above may never have survived this far. Without them, perhaps this is the end. Or," Cersei pauses meaningfully, "perhaps you will say your name again and become what you were always meant to be." Diana strains, her voice resolute. "Amazon. I am an Amazon." Cersei helps Diana embrace who she is, encouraging her to say the word. "Say it again," Cersei urges. "Amazon," Diana repeats, her voice stronger now. "Again," Cersei says, her pride evident. "Amazon," Diana declares. Back in the present, Diana squares off against a towering monster. Its voice booms, full of menace. "Away, warrior! You are beaten. Leave us, as we must prepare the way. This world is ours now." "No," Diana says firmly. The monster growls. "We will continue to hurt you if you insist." "I insist," Diana replies, her resolve unyielding. With strength born of conviction, Diana begins to float, then rises into the air. She holds a red magic lasso. Her voice carries like thunder. "For I am Diana of Themyscira, last of the Amazons, daughter of Cersei, princess of Hell, witch of the Wild Isles, and you will not have this world while I still draw breath. Meanwhile, Cersei reflects from afar, her thoughts tinged with both love and longing. How you prove your love is by setting your child free, arming her to the teeth with the greatest weapons imaginable, and watching her become everything she was destined to be, watching her change the world. And that's the incredible tale that reshaped Wonder Woman's origin. From her childhood as an orphaned Amazon raised in the heart of hell by none other than the great sorceress Cersei, to her present-day battle against a monstrous invasion threatening Gateway City. This story is a perfect blend of heart, heroism, and unrelenting courage. Diana's journey reminds us of the resilience it takes to embrace our identity and fight for what matters, even in the face of overwhelming odds. But now I want to hear from you. What do you think of this bold reinterpretation of Wonder Woman's story? What are your thoughts on her connection with Cersei and her transformation into a warrior of unparalleled strength and resolve? Drop your takes in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to join me next time as we explore more of your favorite heroes and their incredible stories. Until then, stay heroic. Later.